All right, so I'm wondering about your childhood. What was that like for you?
Okay, well, I grew up in Logan, Utah. It's a really small community of mostly Mormon. It's a little more agriculture, lower economic status. And my childhood was really good. My mom stayed at home and she ran a daycare, and my dad works construction, where he still works today. I guess the most significant event that was really hard, my parents got divorced when I was 13, and I had a really hard time with it. None of my friends' parents were divorced, and the Mormon church is really against divorce. So that was really, really tough. And it was just, I don't know, my parents never really talked to us about it then. Later, my mom kind of accused my dad, saying that he was using drugs. That's why they got divorced, and I think it's been really hard because now my mom does use drugs and my dad doesn't, so it's almost like she was projecting that onto him. And for a while I really didn't like my dad and wouldn't spend time with him, like right after they got divorced, until I was about 17.
So at 13, this is when this happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it was a lot, and that's just kind of a good age too. There's a lot going on, so I'm sure that was a lot for you. Was there anything at the time then that helped you through it, or have you ever been in counseling before? Was that a time that you sought counseling?
Well, my sister and I went to like a social worker. That was provided from the church. She wasn't really helpful. Like, I don't remember going very often, and I remember we just played games. But it wasn't really helpful. And immediately after, my mom, started working nights, and she was trying to go back to school to get her GED. And then I think she was planning to go to college afterwards, but then she just started dating a lot, so she was never there. So the social worker didn't really help, and I never really told her, about my dad possibly using drugs or my mom going on dates, because I just felt like those things were bad at the time. So at that time, I just really got more involved in school. I remember a year after my parents got divorced, there was this readathon challenge in school. So I was in 8th grade, and I literally read hundreds of books. I just read constantly, so I kind of lived vicariously for other people, just kind of avoided it. So I just kept doing really well in school and getting a lot of attention for my grades, and I did a lot of volunteer work and that kind of stuff.
Sure. So reading was like a main way for you to kind of escape what was going on and cope with what was going on. That was good.
And then when I was 16, I moved with my mom and her third husband to Idaho. But they got divorced 6 months later, and then we lived there. I lived there for my junior and senior year of high school, which was really good. I loved being new to the school. I liked the school that we were in. Although during those 2 years, I think we moved 7 or 8 times. Yeah, so it was, my mom would lose a job or meet someone else. So it was kind of a transitional. Then I'd gone to college in North Carolina.
I see. So those different moves, was that, did you like doing that, or was that hard at the time?
I mean, I kind of dealt with it with sarcasm. I remember just saying, oh, my stuff was dusted, it needed dusting, kind of making fun of trying to pack up again. I don't know, it wasn't that bad. I mean, we stayed within, so I could go to the same school. A couple of times we moved to places where I should have switched schools, but I just drove farther. So it's not so I got to stay in the same school, so that wasn't as big a bonus, but I had to switch. So the schools were really accommodating, but it wasn't that bad. I do remember my senior year, my mom was like in a relationship with another guy, Jeff, who I'm still close to now. And I just remember she was just so like lethargic, never did anything, like wasn't working. Jeff worked nights, so my mom, would try to stay up all night so that she could spend all day with him and be there when he was there, but it like totally put her life on hold. So I remember like always trying to help my mom and motivate her.
Sure.
And so I think sometimes with my husband trying to motivate me is really tough. Because I remember like writing my mom's resume and like helping her find jobs, and then I'd submit it and she'd never do anything. So I think my husband kind of, I feel like he tries to do that similarly.
Yeah. So you just kind of see him as how you were before, really trying to do a lot for your mom, and I was trying to